What is up, Cornhole Nation? This is Trey Ryder with the American Cornhole League. We got ACL Pro David Morse on the show this week. We're also going to answer some of your questions that you dropped us earlier this month. It'll be a great Q&A session. This is the ACL Throwdown. This week's ACL Throwdown is brought to you by Johnsonville. Can't spell sausage without USA. Yes, ACL Pro David Morse is going to be on the show this week. He's going to talk about defending his home turf at the Great Lakes Conference. Of course, St. Louis bordering right up next to that Great Lakes Conference. So it's going to be a great conversation with him. Stay tuned for that. First, we got to get to my hashtag Trey's Takes. I know you guys love these, and this week I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to ask the Cornhole community, Cornhole Nation, you guys to submit your questions, and I'd answer as many as I could this week. So I got a ton of questions on Facebook, on social media, and I'm going to read through a couple of these here and give my best answer that hopefully you guys will enjoy. The first one is one that I really like. It's, what do you call an airmail that when you throw it hits the hole but knocks off an opponent's bag in the process? I really love this question. I actually put it as a contest on my social media a few weeks ago. You know, it's not really a shot that we have a name for. Cornhole being so new is still developing a lot of the lingo, especially regionally across the United States. There's so many different terms for maybe an airmail or even a four-bagger. But for this one, when I put out this contest, I got a lot of submissions, but my favorite was the and one. It has some similarities to the basketball term, but I thought it was really appropriate for cornhole, getting that extra point when you throw the airmail by knocking an opponent's bag off. So that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going to be using, the and one. So use that at your next tournament if you see it. Another one, in a blind draw, which partner should pick the bags? If you have a stronger and a weaker partner, who should be the one to give up bag selection? Now, this is a great question because a lot of directors across the country are starting to go with A-B blind draws. What that means is they take a lot of the advanced and maybe pro-level players, putting them in one group, and then maybe taking our competitive and social players and putting them in another group and drawing partners across each group. That way you really have even teams throughout the blind draw, and you don't have one team just completely stacked with two ACL pros going all the way through the tournament. So that comes up the question then, who gets to pick the bags? Now, the very common answer that I see most of the time is let the weaker player choose the bags, because a top-level player, an advanced player, an ACL pro should be able to adjust to any bags no matter what they are. For the most part, I agree with that statement, but there's one caveat I want to make. If a player, an advanced or pro player, is very picky about bags, sometimes it is better to let them pick the bags. And honestly, if their playing style is very well suited to a specific bag, then obviously I would go that direction as well. The reason I say that is, take a guy like ACL Pro Adam Hissner. He likes the sticky bags. If you put a really, really slick bag in his hand, it's not that he's not going to do well, but he's not going to be the ACL Pro Adam Hissner that we know and love. So just keep that in mind next time you're in a blind draw and you're worried about bag selection. The next one is a really interesting one. Is there a standard finish on a board, and is there a way to measure tackiness, smoothness on a board, on a bag, whatever it may be? Now, unfortunately, I don't have a great straightforward answer for you guys, but this is going to be an opportunity for me to tease a little bit of what's upcoming with the ACL. Recently, the ACL has partnered with NC State University, ACL Commissioner Stacy Moore is a grad of NC State, so that gives you a little indication of where this came from. But NC State's also really well known for their textiles program. And so we have partnered with NC State to really dive deep and investigate and research fabrics, materials, fillings for bags, sizes, corners, all of these different things that go into building a bag. The ACL has invested in research in those areas, and we're really hoping in the next few months to few years that we can really get some good concrete answers to answer those questions that you've been asking. Is there an ideal sticky side bag? Is there an ideal slick side bag? Is there a way to put a number on the roughness of boards, on the tackiness, on the moisture absorption of some bags? So there's a lot of things that go into it. So we're really excited for that partnership. So stay tuned with that. The next one. When is the ACL going to introduce a veterans division? Now, this is another one I'm going to tease you guys with. The ACL has recently made strides to partner with a specific organization. I'm going to leave it nameless for now and just tease you guys on this, in order to introduce a division specifically for our veterans. I don't want to give too many details. We really want to hype this up when it comes, so just stay tuned for it. It's really a way to give back to our veterans that have sacrificed so much and give them an opportunity to stay competitive and to compete at the highest level or even just at the social level through cornhole. So stay tuned for that. The last question I'm going to answer for the day is really a strategy question. You guys know how much I love these strategic questions. I'm a self-proclaimed cornhole nerd. So let's take a look at this one. It's 19-19, and your opponent has first bag. They throw their first one in. You follow up by throwing in the hole. They throw their next one in the hole, and your second bag is on the board but not recoverable. Maybe on the left or the right side of the hole, cannot be drug into the hole in any way, shape, or form. Your opponent makes their third bag, okay, and the score is currently 9-4. They're in favor. You have 2 bags left. What do you do with your third bag? Now, many of you will answer this question and just say, throw your third bag in the hole and try to make it in, which is the correct answer if you're playing a competitive or a social player. Make them throw their last bag in for a 4-bagger in order to beat you. That's what they have to do. The chances of them making a 4-bagger statistically are not that high if they are a competitive or a social player, leaving the door open for you to make it. So there's your answer if you're playing a competitive or a social player. Now, let's say you're an ACL pro. Let's say you're an ACL advanced player and you're put in this situation. I think the correct next move is to try to put a bag sitting right in front of the hole that is maybe barely just creeping in. Worst case scenario, a true block sitting in front of the hole. Now, the reason I say to do this is because you are going to then leave your opponent with the only way to guarantee a win is to either push your bag in and go in with it or throw an airmail. Both of those shots are significantly lower percentage shots, which means the chances of them missing are greater. Now, if you miss too far away from the hole, you give them an opportunity to double block. They're going to block right behind you, and if they do it correctly, you might be out of luck because you won't be able to push it if it's a good double block. The only shot you're going to have left is maybe a short airmail to drag it in. But what you want to do is if you're at that pro or advanced level, don't just throw that bag in because then you're leaving them an open board to win the game. Make them do something difficult. Throw maybe a block right in front of the hole. Maybe it's a little bit far away. Then if they do try the double block, maybe they miss the block and it gives you a chance to wash it out with a good push. All I'm saying is make the last shot difficult for your opponent if you're at that top level. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Q&A that we did. Hopefully we'll get to do it again here within a few months. Let's stop my hashtag Trey's Takes and get to my conversation with ACL Pro David Morris. He'll talk about this upcoming national and how pumped up he is. ACL Pro David Morse on the show this week. His home conference of the Great Lakes is really playing that home field advantage card. I know conference director Josh Keck has been hyping up and screaming the Great Lakes for a few months now, and now we got one of the top pros in the conference chatting with us. David, I'm going to jump right into it. Thank you for coming on the show. This second national coming up here next week. What is it going to be like having a home field advantage or really trying to defend a home turf when it comes to a national? Not only for you, but for other players in the conference.
Well, first, I want to thank you for having me on, Trey. It's definitely a pleasure. I've been listening to it all year round, so it's definitely a pleasure to be a part of it. But home field advantage, I think it actually will play quite a part. I know it's down in St. Louis, but it's part of the Midwest. It's part of the Great Lakes Conference, and the guys up in my area have just been chomping at the bit to get a national and driving range. So I know the crowd will be loud. There'll be people driving from all over. Guys that aren't used to going to nationals, playing in big time tournaments, and they are just loving the chance to have the opportunity to be there, to play against the best, and just be a part of that main stage and have the chance to be on ESPN.
Absolutely, and we know already just from pre-registration this will be the biggest ACL national in history, so a lot on the line there. Let's rewind a little bit, though. Let's go back to Florida, the ACL kickoff battle. I had a chance to watch you in some of your games in both singles and doubles. I just felt like you were so close to being in those last four remaining, whether it be singles or doubles. You know, what did you take away from your experience in your play in Florida?
I mean, I felt like I played well. I got fifth in singles in my bracket, and Mike and I got third in doubles in our pro bracket. So we're right on the edge there. Like we're trying to break through, and I feel like we're really close to just breaking through and making that main stage, making that main runs. So it's definitely nice to know that you're there, but at the same time, I'm not satisfied. It really sucks getting to the finals, the winner's bracket final, and knowing you just need to win one or two more games and make that main stage, and then just losing two straight. So it's definitely nice to see the progress, the one step forward, but at the same time, it's not enough. You still want more, and you want to really break through there.
No, I don't blame you one bit. There's that competitive edge that I know that all you pros have, and especially you. And you mentioned doubles with Mike Jaquez, your ACL pro partner. Tell me a little bit about that relationship. What is it like throwing with a guy like Mike? You know, I labeled him in my recent article as the trick shot extraordinaire. So you know he can do some crazy stuff with a bag. But what's that partnership like?
Does, man. Like I like talking to him. Like calling him a little bit of a magician because he knows some card tricks and stuff off the court. He'll probably kill me for bringing that up, but if you ever catch him on the side with a deck of cards, he can pull out some tricks for you. But anyways, yeah, Mike and I kind of just came into a partnership when I moved up to Chicago. I moved up to Chicago about two years ago now, and before that, I didn't really know anyone up here. I didn't know any bags players or anyone. Mike was playing in Michigan. He was the top player in Michigan, and probably 6 to 7 months before I moved, I knew I was going to be needing a partner. He was going to be needing a partner. We kind of kicked around that idea for a couple months there. We finished out a season and decided just to go for it. And it's kind of been a pleasure just playing with him. He's to himself. He's focused. He's super competitive like I am. But at the same time, we kind of balance each other out. He's a lefty. I'm a righty. So like kind of whatever we're feeling, because he's a lefty and I'm a righty, we're either throwing on the outside, we're both throwing on the outside, or both throwing on the inside. So we kind of can make that balance work. At the same time, I'm also more of a pusher, hard thrower, throw the sticky side of the bag. He throws the slick side and has a great airmail. So we can definitely balance each other out. We can do matchups how we like. I think we have a really good dynamic there.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's gonna hate you for it, but I love the magician. That's definitely a nickname now. So that's whether he likes it or not, that's sticking at least for the time being.
Oh, he's saying that, but yeah, definitely
uh,
we've kicked that around a little bit.
So, between you and Mike, there's still a lot of court played. We obviously got this national coming up here in St. Louis, but then also two more nationals, and then maybe, hopefully, the ACL Pro Invitational, and then the ACL Championship. So, really, what are you looking to accomplish throughout the rest of the season?
I mean, my main goal is always winning. Everyone says that, but I hate to lose probably more than I like to win. It's just so frustrating to feel defeat. But I want to be on the main stage. I want to make the main stage, and then Mike and I's goal is also to make that Pro Invitational, which you mentioned there. Yeah, so we want to win everything that we play in, but the main goal is to always make the main stage at least a couple times this year.
I don't blame you one bit. Get David Morrison, the magician, on stage there. We got to think of a great nickname for you as well, so we can have a nice dynamic duo there. But David, thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way, and of course, good luck in St. Louis. We'll see you down there, along with the rest of the chaotic crew from the Great Lakes looking to defend their home turf.
Yeah, perfect. I just want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. We wouldn't be here without them. So first and foremost, I want to shout out Morse Van Lines, Davern's Tavern, JK Homemade Backyard Games, Blue Collar Cornhole, and Michigan Metal Artwork. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to travel like we do, and we appreciate all that you do for us.
Absolutely. Class act as always, David Morris in the ACL Throwdown. Yes, ACL Pro David Morse. Thank you, David, for sitting down this week. He's pumped up for the National next weekend. Going to be looking to defend the home turf of the Great Lakes Conference. Of course, St. Louis bordering both the Midwest and Great Lakes conferences. So we should see representation, big representation from both of those conferences. If you're still looking for a spot in that ACL National number 2, the ACL Cornhole Mania happening next week, make sure you get in a last-minute registration. You can go to app.iplayacl.com, and you can go to event registration after you log in, select the events you want to play in, and submit. We are running out of time. We will close registration next Monday, so make sure you get registered for that event. That's all the time that we got this week for the American Cornhole League. This is Trey Ryder. We'll see you next week.